hog show. We are going to introduce Peyton Berg. He's not in the arena right now, but he had the reserve FFA champion hog. Brody Rowland, who is our lightweight champion, is also the FFA champion hog. Brianna Blodgett is your reserve champion lightweight hog. Kai Typen, champion middleweight. Lake Peterson, reserve champion middleweight. Keikoa Typen, champion heavyweight. Noah Typen, reserve champion heavyweight. While we're all here this evening, let's give our judge, Scott Dean from Lisco, Nebraska, another round of applause. He's done a great job today. Excited to see what he brings for us tomorrow. And I'd like to take just a minute to thank our donors again. Amcom Tax and Accounting, CV Fuel, Epic Glass, Buckley's Inspection Services, TLC Livestock, 40 Swiners, Lassen Canyon Nursery, Richard and Mary Card, Jared and Diana Pyle, Mick Insurance, Family Food Center, Kircher's Hardware, Sunny D Manufacturing, North Shore Hawaiian Plate Lunch, Dick Fairfield Memorial, Power Pack Party Time Enterprises, the Klamath County School District Administrators, Mandy Alves and at Hair Company and More, Panhandle West, Seventh Heaven Shires in memory of Brittany Ann Marple, Big R and Coastal Farm and Supply, Linex, Klamath Moving and Storage, Green Farms, The Human Bean, and the Blodgett family with the Wayne Blodgett Memorial.
I want to go home and I want to go home with you.
Oh, I don't know about that, Maddie.
Yeah, and be your mama.
Well, once again, I want to thank you guys for inviting me out to sort your hog show today, and I'm looking forward to sorting your young youth one more time tomorrow in showmanship. It's been a pleasure to come up here. First time I've ever been to Oregon, and I'm definitely enjoying myself and enjoying your youth. It's been a really, really enjoyable experience for me. We get out here in this grand drive, and I think we've got 6 individuals that represent themselves really well, and I think these ones are ones that put it together really well for me, and I hope you can kind of follow a type and kind in here and see what I like and where I'm trying to go in terms of my personal preferences, and also where I think the hog industry needs to go in general. I think we get in here and we have some really, really good ones. You guys can just stop driving, okay? Just relax, let them relax. We get out here, guys, and I think that first and foremost, I think the kids all need to give their parents and everybody, supporters, 4-H extension agents, leaders, everybody that's behind the scenes and behind you, why don't we give them a big round of applause. Secondly, I think we need to give everybody behind the scenes in terms of the superintendents and everybody that helps put the show on. My boardmen today, I think we had a pretty smooth run show, and I was kind of rolling through it pretty fast, and I really appreciate everybody in the back getting those hogs up here in a timely manner. So let's go ahead and give that crew of people a big round of applause as well. If you've stood ringside today at all, you've probably learned that out of the 3 judges here, I'm probably the one that likes to hear myself talk the most, and I'll wear that badge of honor proudly. I'm very passionate about this industry. I'm very passionate about this organization in terms of 4-H and FFA and the opportunity that it provides our youth. I think this program is one of the best in the country, and I think that we need to make sure that it continues to be that way. And we need to stop, you know, any of the haters or whatever you want to call them, and we need to show them what we do and the youth that we send into the real world. and what their potential is. And I think for that, this is by far the best thing that youth can do in this country.
Dad.
Now we get out here, and I think the biggest thing I will say, and if I get invited back next year, I'll be very blessed to do so. But I will say right now that if you take anything away from today, any of you sitting ringside that maybe aren't out here in these top 6, I want you to learn from the individuals in here, and I also want you to learn from other individuals around and figure out what you need to do to be better, okay? Any one of you can be out here. It doesn't take that, it takes a lot of work is all it takes. And you can be out here, you can be in the middle of this ring for this grand drive. It just takes the work and the effort at home, and you've got to be the one to make that choice. And I think that the 6 individuals I have out here are a great representation of that. These hogs are presented to a T. Skin and hair is phenomenal. These are all dialed in. Fill is where it needs to be. You can tell these kids have put the work in at home. These families have done their jobs and supported these kids along the way, and I think it's very, very evident out here. Once we get out here, once again, I'm not gonna re-talk the hogs. We've already talked them. I think there's 3 or 4 of these hogs that are really, really good. I think there's one to me that kind of brought a cannon to a knife fight per se, and one that just puts everything together for me. And this is one Stout Rascal, and I really like this one. I'll go ahead and go out and pick your grand champion hog, and then we'll come back and pick your reserve. We come back out for reserve, and I think there's a couple of them that follow the type and kind of the barrow that wins. He's probably a little bit more unique in terms of the group, but I think there's one that comes in behind him, and I think there's actually a pair of them that it comes down really close to, and that's our reserve heavyweight and our champion middleweight. I think these 2 gilts do a lot of really, really cool things. I think where it comes down to brass tacks for me is matching up to our champion hog the best. And to me, there's one that's just more massive through her center body. She's a lot better in terms of her rib shape. She's squarer and truer down through her chest floor and all the way to the ground. And I think this one does it pretty well as well. And one that in her division, I think everybody remembers I was pretty excited about this one. And it just so happens that the barrow comes in and gets around her today. But once again, thank you guys very much. I'll go ahead and go out and pick your reserve grand.